I'm sure everyone that follows these people or these creators know that something happened at Ashley Furniture. Here's my take on it. Let's take a look.
They could have brought it. They left their tools there. Their tools are in my house. And my furniture was on the lawn.
And the guys tell my husband, right, the bed is not taken apart. So he takes the mattresses up, blah, blah, blah. I see him doing that. And Bullhorn Betty comes along and says, oh my gosh, I was on my live. I didn't hear a thing. Now, she's on the opposite side of the house. I kind of wouldn't expect her to hear. Nor is it her responsibility. So anyway, oh my God, thank you, Misfit Brit.
Okay. But when you're calling a place, you can't just think that you're going to talk any type of way and expect me to help. Gotcha.
But in all fairness, I've been respectful to you, and you've already started correcting me. I've been nice.
I was trying to explain to you guys earlier on the phone that I would have no communication with the delivery team, and whoever was on the phone kept yelling over me. I don't deal with that. I don't care about this job for real.
That's great.
But you're not going to call. You're trying to talk to me.
Okay. So you don't care about the job. Is this a corporate store or is this a franchise?
While you're not being like blatantly disrespectful, I'm positive she can sense your condescension, Betty.
And one of the things my husband said was, all they had to do was just bring the other bed in, and I would have put it together myself. He goes, well, that's all they had to do. He goes, Marissa, after you pulled out and left, they went out into the street, and then they took off. And Violet was out there with them. I'm not mad at this girl. I'm not mad at Bullhorn. No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that. But Bullhorn Betty saw and heard everything. Bullhorn Betty saw more than I did. That's why she was saying it. No one went there to get a YouTube video. No one went there to, hey, let's heat somebody up. That's not how you do it. That's not how it goes.
Okay, I'll be happy to.
Would you like the phone?
Yes, I will. As a matter of fact.
Are you recording?
Absolutely.
301 7 and thank you for telling me you're not here.
Well, I'm recording every time I walk in here, so.
Talk to you later.
I can't see your order.
No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that. No one could say that Bullhorn Betty caused that.
He's working.
You can tag me if you want. I got something. I got to
We're not being rude.
Customer service. You're trying to do customer service, and you expect somebody to help you when you're being rude. So you can call customer service or corporate or whoever you want, and you can deal with that yourself. Because that's what I would be doing. I would be emailing corporate customer service for you, but you can do it yourself. Thank you. Have a good day.
Attempt number 2 of asking them to leave.
Hey, that's the homeowner. Hi.
Huh?
Yeah, and look how you talk to people. Yeah, now. Fine. Okay, can you leave?
Attempt number 3 of asking them to leave.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Attempt number 4 of asking them to leave. This next part really helpful, Betty.
Go forward.
Whoa.
I could call the cops on you for harassing me. You're sitting here recording about some goddamn.
I'm being recorded.
Those cameras don't work.
Oh, that.
No, they don't.
I was just waiting so I could ask a question, but he come in front of me.
Because you're done. Goodbye.
No, I had another question.
Well, I'm not going to answer.
You're not going to answer?
I have to help you. You can call corporate customer service.
Okay.
So rude. I can't stand when y'all come in here and act like y'all can talk to anybody.
I said
Can
very
you
little.
leave?
Molly wearing a clothespin on her nose? Why does she sound like that?
I said very
Can you
little.
leave?
Attempt number 7 of asking them to leave.
She's asking you nice. I've been nice to y'all all day on the phone. Can you leave?
Attempt number 8 of asking them to leave.
You've never talked to me on the phone.
Oh my
Are you
God, for the
homeowner?
love of
I'm one of
Christ.
the homeowners.
Can you leave?
Attempt number 9 of asking them to leave.
I can in a second.
Thank you. Goodbye. God damn.
Oh, so you know each other?
No, I don't, but I'm a
He's a
respectful
good
customer.
customer here.
And I got my information. I don't want it all on your line.
I'm a paying customer as well.
Okay, and you're
Rude? Not at all.
If you want.
Not at
Can
all.
you leave?
Attempt number 10 of asking them to leave.
I can't leave.
All right, goodbye before I call the cops on you. Goodbye. No, at least sitting here
Just
recording
go,
all up in my
man.
face. I can really say something. You're not supposed to be recording
Gosh.
me. Now, can you leave?
You're asking me to leave.
Attempt number 11 of asking them to leave.
Please do.
I wanted to know.
I don't have to answer your question. Can you leave?
What do you mean you know how I am?
Can you
He knows how her coworker is, not you.
leave?
Karen, what's going on?
Did she really just ask what's going on? That's an act, right? Because if it's not, are you okay? Is she okay? Is it? Okay.
And they just keep sitting there.
Wait, he went in front of me.
Because you're done.
No, I'm not.
She got the customer service
She walked
line.
away.
Can you leave?
No, I wanted.
Okay, so clearly she was being petty by, like, pointing out the guy cutting in front of her, which I think he probably wants this over just as much as the lady does, but she claims she wanted to know how to get a hold of the delivery service because they're third-party contracted. If that were true, she could have just said, can I just know how to? But the girl had already told her to contact corporate about that because they don't handle that whatsoever. So I feel like this is just hoping something pops off, which it already has. It would have left like a half hour ago. Or actually, I never would have ended up in this position in the first place, regardless of how long it was taking our furniture and whatnot.
The number. I asked. I didn't.
You telling you the number?
No, I want the number to the delivery service. That's all I asked. You said that you can't help me because you're not connected to the
So you
number.
just answered your
No,
question. She can't help you because
That's
she's
fine.
not connected to
How can I get
the
in touch with
delivery
the
to call corporate.
How can I get in touch with the delivery service? Okay. Thank you for your help. You were very kind. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Wow. She said she ate your job?
Look at Betty's like hands on hips, smiles on lips, like strolling out, so proud.
You just threatened me? Are you
Fifth day
serious?
walk of shame with that hoodie on.
I just want the furniture I paid for. No. I wanted to ask you if I could have the number to the delivery service.
Betty, if you were her friend, wouldn't you be saying, hey girl, let's get out of here. This ain't a good look.
Oh my God.
But nope.
Wow. And I get called a Karen? Oh. All right.
Listen to this next part about what she says about Ashley Furniture, what Betty says.
YouTube. Walter's my husband. Wow. I get called a Karen?
And holding her back, that was so dramatic. I mean, think about it. Was she really going to beat me down? Dude, not for nothing.
Right or
but
wrong,
that would have
she
been
looked pretty
the
damn
greatest photo. Dude,
serious.
that was my shot. That was my viral shot. I would have had a million hits. White lady gets a beat down. Catches a major beat down by an Ashley Furniture employee. I'm like, ah! I just wanted my ottoman. Why did this have to happen? And I wasn't even the Karen in this situation. She flipped out. A D-list YouTuber, protester assaulted Ashley Furniture. Of all places, Ashley Furniture. Why did this have to happen? Exactly. You had one job, but you had one job. And you fucked up.
I didn't know they were like this.
Yeah, I wonder where Betty shops for her furniture. Ashley Furniture has nice stuff. The lady ended up going on Queen Bee's panel. One creator, not even worth mentioning in my opinion, claimed reaching out to Ashley Furniture or to the employee was going real life. But somehow posting the video wasn't. Make it make sense.
15, so McDonald's is across the street. So I went across and got me a caramel frappe. So on my way back, I got a message from one of the, so you seen the other girl in the video who escorted her out. Did you see that part?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, she was trying to be nice and trying to, she's like, come on, no, that's fine. Like, I'll handle it. I'll help you. I'll handle it.
So she's the one who actually answered the first phone call, whoever called. I don't know if it was, I don't know who it was. So I got a message when I came back that there was, they were very upset. So I guess the delivery team left their house. So I'm like, why did the delivery team leave their house? So I'm trying to read the notes, because I can't access the delivery team. They're a third party. We are franchised. We're not actually home store like on the internet. We are franchised. So
right. And I heard you telling that. Like, I was going to try to call, but you can call yourself at this point because, you know what I'm saying? We're not with them. I heard you telling her that, like, trying to explain it to her.
So, so on the notes on the invoice, it says that they didn't open up the door. So, okay, their time frame was from 7 to 11 a.m. yesterday. So they
Sorry. And so when you set up a time frame, I just want to make sure this is clear. When you set up a time frame, you are setting that up because you obviously have other people behind them and they have a certain amount of time to get in, get stuff done, get it moved or whatever, move on to the next house.
Put everything together for you. They'll come in, deliver the furniture in wherever room you need it, and they'll put it together for you.
Right.
So when the delivery team got to their house, no one answered the door. I don't know how big this house is. I don't know. But anyway, so when I talked to the other manager, she said that the guy said his wife wasn't home, that she couldn't answer the door, and someone else that was in their house wasn't able to come answer the door. So he tried to call the delivery team back whatever number they called him from to let him know they were outside. Wherever he was, he ended up coming to the house 40 minutes later after the delivery team was waiting on him. So before he came, he tried to give them a code to access into his house. But of course, the delivery team's not going to come into your house. That's like saying, hey, I gave you a key to my house. I wasn't home and you stole something from me or something. Anything.
Oh, this is a mess.
They, here. So anyway, so when they got there, so Walter finally shows up. So he opens up the door. So as these delivery guys are unloading the truck, mind you, when you load a truck up, you go by weight and you go by the stops.
Right.
Their stop was the first stop. So the first furniture that they had coming out was like a bedroom set. When the delivery team went into their house, the rooms wasn't even cleared out for them to even get delivered.
They said, yeah, Walter was in there trying to hurry up and take the fucking bed apart. And
so the delivery team is not waiting on y'all no more. They already waited 40 minutes. Your delivery time frame was from 7 to 11. It's 11 o'clock now. So they left. They packed the shit back up into the delivery truck and they left.
Come and start. And the guys tell my husband, right, the bed is not taken apart. So he takes the mattresses up, blah, blah, blah. I see him doing that. And Bullhorn Betty comes along and says, oh my gosh, I was on my live. I didn't hear a thing. Now she's on the opposite side of the house. I kind of wouldn't expect her to hear. Nor is it her responsibility. After, when they came in, I said, hey, you're going to put the artwork? They said, yes. And I said, all right, well, how about we put the ottoman thing here? Blah, 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 blah. Shocking to me. I was very shocked that they weren't bringing other stuff in. There was only one item that did make itself out of the truck. So my husband, I guess, was telling them, bring in all the other stuff. Bring in all the other stuff and put it in because you can get all the stuff in here and here. Start with the artwork. Their big ass truck is in my driveway. And I needed to get to the doctor. And I had a 9:45 appointment. And I was rushing. As I'm rushing, I get pulled over by the policia. Wave to the guys. So I assume that my furniture is in there. And I get this call 2 blocks away from the doctor. They furniture saying, hey, we're going to charge you this, and that because you weren't there for the furniture. And I'm like, no, they're there right now. She goes, they are. I said, yeah. And sure enough, Betty had seen me pull out. And she was there for the whole thing. So Adrian says, I got the bed done. And I go out. And all of a sudden, I got it. So I'm reading these comments about how it's Betty's fault and why is Betty speaking. Betty was here and she saw everything. So by the time I get home, and I told Ashley, not even Ashley, I guess the delivery something. I said, wait a second. I said, no, they're at my house. They're at my house. It's okay. No, they're fine. Now, I don't know how it sounded to you or what you envisioned. I didn't think to record my entire day. I didn't do that. But when I did get home, I went up to my husband's office and he called that same woman. In fact, when we walked into that place, I did not record that because I didn't think that was that same woman because she was too calm. I was like, no, that can't be that lady. But I did record a little bit and I forgot. I didn't realize that I stopped. So I did put what conspired before. There was a video before that. So yeah, there was a video before that. There was a video.
I'm back and forth with a missed delivery this morning, and I happened to be present for the delivery to the home. And the people that were delivering the stuff had the stuff unloaded. There was a bed that needed to be broken out before they even left the house. There's furniture, couches, artwork, a lot of stuff that could have been put up as they were getting, because by the time they left, the bed was already torn apart. I witnessed a phone call with a supervisor that was very rude and unnecessary to the homeowners. And I'm just trying to figure out when this delivery is going to be made and what's going on. Frankly, it seemed to me that they were frustrated because they needed to move their truck. That's why they took off. That's what really sparked this whole.
I had to go to the doctor, and that was it. Was that you on the phone that I talked to? Okay, so they left. And we have a multitude of furniture. So if they're going to the other place.
Betty didn't need to be continuing to talk for this part, in my opinion. Molly could have just been speaking to this lady, giving her insight, because there's really nothing Betty can do. Her feedback's great, gratuitous, albeit, but great. However, not necessary.
It says to drop it off. They're going to take out all my stuff first. When do they come back? Are they coming back now? Well, I saw my stuff on the grass. Well, what do you know? Should we just cancel everything? She's going to get in touch with corporate. Give us some patience. She's going to take care of you.
Right, so I'm not able to see none of that happening. I can only read the notes what the delivery team writes on the invoice from their side.
Right.
My process is to let the customer know that I have to wait for the items to return back to the warehouse. Then I will be able to see that on the invoice and call them to reschedule delivery. What you told them? I was trying to tell them. Because, okay, they called back. So, all right, I got the message that Walter called. I'm trying to get everything situated before I call him back. Before I get to call Walter back, Walter calls me.
Oh,
so I'm like, okay, this is the guy, I read all of the delivery notes. So I'm like, well, the delivery team said that you guys didn't have none of the furniture out for them to deliver any furniture in your house. And they waited 40 minutes for someone to answer the door.
Which is already long enough. And we got other customers.
Thank you. The whole truck is full of shit. So they're mad. So he starts to talk about a dog and how the delivery team let the dog out. And I'm like, well, if you knew he was getting delivered, why ain't the dog put up? So I clearly said that. I was like, sir, I'm going to be honest with you. You knew he was getting delivered a week before. If the room is not cleared out, the delivery team will leave.
Oh, see, Molly said, well, here, see for yourself.
They didn't tell me that my stuff was going to be delivered until yesterday at 6 p.m.
So he was like, they could have waited an hour and all of that. So I'm just sitting there listening. So I was like, sir, would you like me to help you? I can send the email out. He's like, no, you need to call the delivery team and tell them to bring my shit now.
I was like, I don't have access to the delivery team. He was like, well, how come I was able to call? Well, then you call the number back. I don't have access. I was like, what I can do is I can send this email out to the warehouse and they can get in contact with this third party and then they're able to email me back. I'm just the first step. I'm customer service. I'm just the first step on to what you need. I'm not corporate. I don't know what's going on behind the system. So he was like,
Right.
he was like, are you Ashley? Now, mind you, I'm just trying to hurry up and help him get off the phone. So I didn't even catch on until after I was like, he was like, are you?
He was already being funny.
Right. And I was like, no, my name is Fasha. And if I'm the office manager here, and if you need me to help you, I can. He was like, I don't want to speak to you. I want to speak to the person who pays the delivery drivers. I don't want to speak to you. So I said, okay, well, here's customer service number. The same thing, what I will be doing for you, you can do it for yourself. So I gave him the number and then he started to talk about the dog again and how this is. So I said, well, sir, is there anything else I can help you with? Because I'm not supposed to answer the phone till 10 o'clock. So I was being nice and calling you all early, but he ended up calling me. So, and he was like, I want to speak to Ashley, the whoever pays the delivery driver. So I gave him the number and I told him to have a nice day and hung up. I don't have to stay on the phone with you.
Yikes.
So I hung up. And 2 hours later,
you don't stand to be treated like that. You don't.
So then 2 hours later, and mind you, on the phone, I'm being nice. Like how I'm talking now, this is my hood voice, but that's because I'm there. But I know how to talk. Like I'm not stupid. Don't look at me like that.
Well, you knew what time it was when you came in and seen him recording you, and I could tell the look on your face. You were like, "Are you recording me?" And you said you want the number, gave her the number, and he was like, "Okay, so now that you're recording me, you need to leave." And I knew you knew.
Well, to be fair, and I always try to look at these situations objectively, I don't think that she should have been already in that temperament while having just been on the phone. The whole scene of being recorded and stuff hadn't happened yet, so that was kind of a precursor. Now, was he probably expecting more out of her than her job position warrants or provides? For sure. But hang up on him, then Molly and Betty definitely knew what they were going up against before they even got there, I guess. Maybe she explains a little more, though.
I had already talked to them calmly way before that.
Yeah, see, I knew.
What happened was they walked up. I was checking out a guest. So Bullhorn Betty or whatever her big head name is,
right,
Big Head Betty.
Right.
So Big Head Betty standing in front of me, and cross-eyed Marissa standing behind the guest that I was checking out. So I'm letting the guest know. I'm like, so I was able to schedule the guest that I was checking out their delivery right away because their stuff was in stock. So I'm letting them know. I'm like, hey, make sure when you get your delivery, you're there all day. They are going to call you with a 4-hour time window, and also inspect your items, make sure nothing, get it back onto the, let them know how it goes. Just like I told Walter and Marissa. So anyway, so Big Head Billy or whatever her name is, she's standing to the left side of me, but like in front of me, hanging onto the counter. So as I'm telling the guest the delivery stuff, she's smirking. So I was like, oh, this must be it right here. This must be the phone call. So I'm thinking she's the customer. So I was like, because the other girl, she was standing behind the guest left, and then she walked up to the counter after about like 5 or 6 seconds when Big Head Billy started talking. So Big Head Billy talking about, well, yeah, I just want to so that's when the video starts. So I'm talking, I'm like, hey, how can I help y'all? And she was like, yeah, I'm a witness to what happened today with the delivery. So I was like, a witness to what? Like, all right, so who's the homeowner? So the other girl was like, well, I am. So I'm just like, okay. So that's when you see me ignoring what Girly has to say, because I'm not listening to no dog being left out on the lawn and all of that. And you're not even the homeowner. So I'm reading the notes. So as I'm trying to tell them, how the process goes, Girly keeps cutting me off. And then I'm like, all right, well, obviously you don't want me to help you. Here's the customer service number. Boom, boom, boom. So then she starts to record me. I seen it. So then I got loud because you're pissing me off now. Now both of you girls are standing in front of me recording me after, I'm asking you to leave. And then that's when you see all of the video and all of that of me getting hyped, because at first they didn't even want to listen when they first came in.
Okay, so if you want to hear more of that, you can go over to Queen Bee's channel. I think there's quite a bit more. The link to that video or that live is in my description, as well as all clips I used from Molly's videos. I'm going to end with a clip of Molly responding to people asking about or commenting on her having a camera in Fashia's face. And she brings up, I believe the woman that she refers to as a crackhead in Tennessee, I believe that's what she's referring to, having a camera in her face, how Fascia is supposed to pay restitution for that. I have no idea how the two are aligned whatsoever. Do I think everybody in this scenario could have dealt with it better? I'm positive. Everybody. It includes all parties. Do I think that Bullhorn Betty shouldn't have been the advocate or the spokesperson for said conflict? Absolutely not. Here's that smirk she had at the end, just to remind everybody. And granted, we can't put it solely on one person, but I think you get what I mean. I just figured if, in case anybody hadn't seen what took place, all of the pieces of every event are in one place now. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope everyone has a good morning, afternoon, or night, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh my gosh, I forgot all that she says until I just re-listened to it, so trigger warning, she goes way out there. And as someone who will have 12 years in recovery on Valentine's Day,
I really hate the way she talks about addicts. Some of us were junkies at one point, but now we aren't, and we haven't been, and that's not... Even if I were, or like still know people like that, I've lost a lot of friends like that, I would never refer to them like that. Everybody struggles with something. And I'd wager that at least 2 of her subs have a kid that struggled with it, or know somebody with a kid who struggled with it, who really wouldn't appreciate that kind of language. Or I don't even mean kid, but an adult, but you know what I'm saying.
It was okay for people that I didn't know to actually have their cameras on me, right? People that put nails in their toes, nails in their arms, snort, do all that other shit. People with extensive criminal backgrounds, thieves, junkies, losers, right? It's okay for them to stick their camera in their face, right?
Their face or yours?
But it's not okay for me to go to the store where I spent thousands of dollars on a purchase of some crap furniture. Someone asked me, Marissa, why were you buying crappy furniture? I'll tell you why I bought crappy furniture, since you really want to know why. Is because if I ever decide to pick my forever home, that's when I'm going to invest in some bad furniture.